Good morning, good morning. Day 228, I think. I'm getting it right. I think so. Good morning. It is a beautiful, crisp morning here. I'm like, ooh, I might have wanted to bring my jacket, so that's all right. That's all right. It'll wake me up. The chill in the air. I'm already awake. And the bright sunshine. But it'll give me a little bit more of a boost of the good chemicals. Oh man, like every morning is just so beautiful, beautiful. Let me turn that around a little bit more so y'all can enjoy it a little bit more. Beautiful. Look at this. Just beautiful. Peaceful lake. We have a fairly cloudless sky, just a few wisps in the air, in the sky. Brilliant blue. Complete juxtaposition from yesterday. We had complete, like it was gray all day. Complete cloud, blanket of clouds with the muted colors all day. Every day is a new day and unique unto itself. So we're going to talk about investing in friendships today. And this is the subject of Luke chapter 16. And Jesus he goes full circle. He uses an example of someone that doesn't quite do what they're supposed to do, but he's shrewd, he's smart, he's strategic thinking. And he uses this intentionally and says, sometimes the people of the light forget and don't think as shrewdly or strategically, and sometimes even cut themselves short. So while we have to live in the world, but we kind of have to not be of the world, but we sort of have to, like, we are human. We can't just forget taking care of our human needs. And we humans are built for relationship and community and friendship. But he takes it a step further and uses an example of investing in friendships. Like we really have to, it takes intention, it takes consistency, it takes, it's a cost. You have to do something that costs you. With your resources. And he doesn't say money. The example that he gives us is sort of in the financial realm, but he uses the word resources, as long as that's been translated correctly. You use your worldly resources to invest in people and in friendships, because you just don't know when you might need that. Life happens. Sometimes we find ourselves at we can be very comfortable in our lives and get very secure and even isolated. And sometimes the tendency of the human is to sort of withdraw and protect and hoard and not share. Mine. And this is a warning. So he gives us two examples. One is a money manager for an estate, a lord, we'll use that word, like a lord of a manor. And he has a financial person taking care of the money. And word gets to the lord that this guy is a little loose with the money, taking advantage of his position. And he warns him. He's like, I hear these things about you. I think I'm probably going to have to let you go. And so this is the example that Jesus points out of using somebody like this as an example to everybody. He thought to himself, this money manager, saw the writing on the wall that he was going to need help. And he was not a man of labor. He didn't have a lot of skills outside of managing money. And now he's probably ruined his reputation. Probably won't get a job like this again. So he's like, what am I going to do? How am I going to take care of myself? I know I'm gonna create some situations. I'm gonna invest in some people, create some friendships where they owe me. They'll help take care of me when I need it. I'm gonna take care. So he found people that owed the Lord money and resources. Back then it was money and like bushels of things, oil. So he calls on these people and he reduces their debts. He waives some of their obligations. So you can imagine he created some friendships, some strategic friendships for himself, and some favors that he could call on when he needed similar help. So strategic and shrewd, but still of the world. Like he knew how to play the game. And so he uses this as a example for all of us. But then he goes on to say and remind us, but you can only serve two masters, or one master, not two. And if you do this from the perspective of loving money, you're going to lose in the end. If you do it from the perspective of knowing that friendships enrich your lives, that you can really help others and they can help you, and that is where true life is, because that's all about love and not about getting you money. But interestingly enough, when we focus on love and serve love as our master, we usually get blessed. Or at least our perspective about our blessings changes, and even those that don't have a lot of worldly resources feel rich and blessed. So this is where true life and all of that really is. They're telling us this. And we know this from modern psychology. Like, this is true. Like, this is science. He's telling us, like, if you live this way, you will have a healthy, wealthy life. And wealth does not necessarily mean resources or material wealth. Hey, we have a runner coming up, so I'm gonna pause for it's great to see people out being active in the morning. And anyway, so then he goes and gives us another example, just so to make sure that we get it and that we're not focused on the money part of it, but it's more about the giving and blessing, because we will be blessed. And there's a rich man who is behind his gates, keeping it all to himself, hoarding. He loves money. He loves money. And he's got a man who is poor and has leprosy. They give his name, named Lazarus, at the gate. And Lazarus, he won't share with Lazarus. No compassion. It even tells us that the dogs came up and licked his wounds. He saw himself as other than, higher than, and Lazarus is not worthy of investing in, and let him die at his gates. Well, this rich man behind his gates died as well. And then it sets the scene up in the afterlife, and Lazarus is being lavished on and taken care of. And oops, I should go. I might get a walnut dropped on my head. Squirrels are up there busy. And the rich man is over there in anguish, in flames, it says. And he sees, and there must be like a body of water or something that's separating, or a chasm that can't be crossed between the two. But he can see Lazarus being taken care of and just doing well. And he's like, oh, send Lazarus over here just to even dip his pinky into the water and put it on my tongue so I can have this heat quelled, or the help. And just a little help. And he's like, he's told, I'm sorry, we can't cross this. And then he says, well, send some messengers to my brothers. I have 5 brothers. Tell them, to change their ways, and so that they won't have this consequence that I have. And they were like, there are messengers, Moses, the prophets, like you had the information, your brothers have the information. And he said, well, maybe send someone back from the dead to tell them. Maybe they'll believe that. And they were like, they're not going to believe that. Like, if they didn't believe Moses and the prophets, they're not going to believe somebody who being raised from the dead. And then it just ends. I was like, whoa. So, investing in friendships is also investing in eternal life. And this is where life truly is, where it feels expansive. It feels like wealth. It feels your life will be blessed beyond measure. But it's going to cost you something. You need to put all your focus, you need to serve God, and not your own ego and not your own material wealth. Can't serve 2 masters. And you've got to invest in other people here on earth from that pure place, not just what can I get. And because you may be taken care of on earth, but if it's not done from that, the very famous lines, and I think probably most people have heard this, whether they've read the Bible or believe or not, is that to that which is given a little, and that person does, really treasures that little bit and takes care of it and is responsible and trustworthy, more will be given. If you've been given a lot and you're irresponsible with it, it'll be taken away. So that was the first example. And then we have, this is why the man, even though it was used in the first example, and he was as an example of us to be shrewd and invest in relationships, he was given a lot. And if he had lived from the proper perspective and served the master of love, of God, he wouldn't have been put in a position. He would have already been investing in those friendships. He would have been taken care of. He wouldn't lose his job. Like, he would have gotten to keep that job. So we're given a message within a message. We're given several messages within the messages. So bottom line, investing in friendships and in other people. And again, I use that word invest specifically because I think a lot of us have friends and we have acquaintances and we talk to people and we might think, oh, I have friends, but do you have your friends' backs? Do they have your back? Have you invested in relationships to a point where it has cost you, where it costs you sometimes, your time, or doing things when you don't always want to do them, going out of your way, giving resources, giving help when people need it? That's what Jesus is talking about here. Investing in other people, not just, hey, how you doing? Nice pleasantries, having acquaintances, even the Pharisees. Lots of people have that. But are you invested in people? And are you doing it from a place of serving love as your life overall purpose? What are you a slave to? What is your master? And if it's from the position of only loving money or worldly possessions, you're missing the point. Oh, there's a lot in here too, because as an Enneagram 9, I love to be withdrawn and not be bothered and not invest fully in other people. I'm going to be honest. Like, sometimes it's just too much trouble. So I really have to push myself out of my comfort zone on this one. And it's not even because of a love of money. It's more of a love of comfort. So whatever your love is, good morning, Dominique. Oh man, I'm sending lots of prayers your way and for your families. But investing in friendships. And I've got somebody on here who's watching, whose mom was a living example of this, investing in people. So we have got, because that is where our treasures get stored up in heaven. And it blesses our lives on earth as well. And then it even leaves treasures behind for those that are left behind when you've invested in others. That's a legacy that you leave to be carried on. That is what love does. True agape love. And we need to hold others in that love and really invest. And again, investing is used strategically because it has to cost you something. It needs to be a little uncomfortable at times. And because, again, where you do a little bit of investing, that investment grows beyond what you can even imagine and what you may not even see the fruit of. It may just go out into the world and you've made a difference in somebody's life. So invest in others. And maybe, I said investing in friendship here because that's sort of the example that he gave in the first one, but really investing in people, even if they're not your friends, even if you don't know where that's going to go. Because you might just change somebody's life, which then ripples out and changes somebody else's life. So investing for the kingdom, for love. Anyway, I have been on here for a few minutes and I'm just sharing and reflecting on Luke chapter 16. If you want to go read this yourself and be encouraged, and then look out intentionally for somebody. Look for opportunities to invest in people, because and when you do it from a place of love and from God's love, you're investing in the kingdom and for eternity. All right, have a great day.